What's going on, everybody? And I hope you're enjoying your Thursday night. This is NYG Jeffrey T85 here, and I'm bringing you the BKN Game Recap for the BrooklynNets as they took on today the Detroit Pistons. And this team has got some problems. This team has got some serious problems on the defensive end of the court. Just watching some of the film tonight, this team is getting beaten off the dribble. When they play in the zone, they're not able to get the right sets on defense, and they are getting exposed right now on the defensive end. The Nets lost tonight to the 13-37 Detroit Pistons. Yep. I said it right. Not only have the Nets lost to a 12-13 win Spurs team this year, now they've lost to the Pistons, 130-122. And the Pistons have a lot of good young talent, but this is a game the Nets need to win. And this was pretty bad. I mean, Sadiq Bey, Jaden Ivey, Alec Burks, all these guys, Jalen Duren, they had their way with the Nets tonight. They shot 50% from the field. 48 of 95. They even shoot that great from the three-point line. But the Nets, their defense looks horrible. And, if you want to update the injuries, Seth Curry didn't play tonight because of right knee soreness, and Ben Simmons had to leave the game around the end of the fourth quarter with knee soreness. So, you're already without Durant. You played tonight without Seth. Royce O'Neal's banged up, and now you lose Ben Simmons due to injury. And the problem with this basketball team is they are so one-dimensional. A lot of these guys are very good shooters, but they cannot play a lick of defense. They cannot play a lick of defense. Curry, even when he plays, he's a great shooter, but this guy can't play defense. Kyrie Irving, we know, is not a great defensive player. Joe Harris is a terrible defensive player. Edmond Sumner is supposed to be a decent defensive player. Watanabe is not a defensive player. Markieff Morris might have been a good defensive player in the past, not anymore. T.J. Warren has been hit a big slump recently. Cam Thomas, forget about it. He's not known for his defense. It's really been Royce O'Neal, Ben Simmons, and Nicolas Claxton are your defensive anchors. And O'Neal didn't have a good game tonight at all. Warren continues his unimpressive play. And Simmons didn't really do much tonight. Didn't even score a point, and he got hurt. To be honest, the only two players, like I mentioned on the BKN Game Recap last night, have been consistent, has been Nicolas Claxton and Kyrie Irving. That's it. Every one of these other guys are so hit and miss. Every one of these guys. Edmond Sumner had 24 points tonight. But where has Edmond Sumner been before that? Hit and miss. Seth Curry, 32 points last night. Hit and miss. Joe Harris has had some big games. Hit and miss. Royce O'Neal's had some big games. Hit and miss. Simmons has had big games. Hit and miss. Getting the trend? Yuta Watanabe's had some big games, hit and miss. T.J. Warren's had some big games, hit and miss. Patty Mills has had some big games, hit and miss. This team is just so way too damn inconsistent, and it starts on the defensive end. Now you've given up back-to-back 130-point games to your opponents. I can understand with the 76ers. They're a good team, second in the East, and they have talent. Detroit's got a lot of good young talent, but they are a 13-win basketball team. 13 win. I'm not going to yell and scream. But I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed tonight. Even without Simmons at the end of the game, even without Curry and even without Durant, you should still beat this basketball team. And the Nets, it starts on the defensive end. Their defense has been absolutely beyond abysmal. You are not winning any of these basketball games if you cannot play a single lick of defense. Period. The defense on this team tonight was pathetic. And the shooting was not that much better. Yeah, they shot 46% from the field. 34% from the from the three-point line. When you got all these three-point shooters? You kidding me? They actually didn't even get dominated on the rebounding end. They got out-rebounded by 8. But this team, it's trending towards they need to get an upgrade. I can understand why this team needs to get aggressive at the trade deadline. They need front court help. They need some defense mixed in with their shooting. I don't even care at this point. As long as their names are not Nicolas Claxton, Kevin Durant, or Kyrie Irving, maybe Cam Thomas. I don't even care who gets traded. I don't. Might be an outlandish statement. Seth Curry, you want to trade him for some defense? Go for it. Joe Harris, you want to trade him some defense? Go for it. Edmond Sumner, that's fine. I like TJ Warren a lot. I thought he'd be a big contributor. He's slowed down. If you want to include him in a trade, go for it. Royce O'Neal, more for the playoffs. I'd like to keep him. But if there's a trade out there that can help your team, go for it. To me, there's only 3 true untouchable players on this basketball team. And that's Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Nicolas Claxton. Everybody else, you could put up there in a trade that makes sense. Because this was bad tonight. This was brutal on the defensive end. I could understand giving up 137 points last night to the Philadelphia 76ers, but 130 points to the Detroit Pistons. And I don't even want to hear about Simmons. Simmons is a non-factor and has been a non-factor for a while. Seth Curry doesn't play a lick of defense. So he might have helped you scoring, but the Nets didn't need help scoring. They scored 122 points tonight. That should be more than enough to win. The defense is the problem. This team can't play defense. You've given up back-to-back 130-plus games. How are you supposed to win if you're giving up that many points to the opponent? If anybody in the chat has an answer, tell me. I mean, just watching the tape, it's like this team has never played a lick of defense. And it's just up and down again. Remember at the beginning of the season I was talking about this basketball team up and down? At least now they're 10 games above 500. And I guess you could say, well, they don't have Kevin Durant. But I don't want to make excuses. This basketball team underperformed tonight against the team they should have beaten. The Pistons are a good young team of good core. I mean, Jalen Duren, Sadiq Bey, Jaden Ivey. These are good young players. But it's not like a team that can't be beat. Diallo's a good player too. Stewart's a good player. Hayes. I mean, the Nets gave... This team had 8 players in double figures, the Pistons. 8. Are we kidding yourselves here? 8 players? That's defense. You could rack it up to good shooting, but let's just be real. They shot 50%, but some of that has to do with defense. Some of the plays, they had wide open shots. And athleticism-wise, the Pistons just look like a more athletic team than the Nets tonight. I'm watching it. Joe Harris getting beat on plays constantly. Royce O'Neal getting beaten. Yuta Watanabe. Edmond Sumner. TJ Warren. Markieff Morris. Even Claxton got beaten on some plays. Irving got beaten. It's a trend. The Nets defense has got to get better. And this was a team that had one of the best defenses for a while. You can't tell me because Kevin Durant got hurt that all of a sudden they forgot how to play defense. But when you're giving up 130 points, it's a mix of the team just shooting incredibly well you're playing, and you're just not playing a lick of defense. This was a very disappointing loss tonight for the Nets. Very disappointing. This team has really got to regather itself. They do. This was a very, very bad loss. And now we have a date with the New York Knicks, who by the way, they beat the Boston Celtics tonight in Boston. You don't think the Knicks are going to want to finally beat the Nets on Saturday? I bet they do. And right now, the Knicks look like the better team than the Nets. They do. They look like the better team. The Nets are starting to suffer some injuries now. Mixed with Kevin Durant. Said Royce O'Neal's banged up. Daron Sharp didn't play. Simmons had to leave the game tonight. Curry's now dealing with an injury. Nets have got to find a way to turn this around. Or this can get ugly. And this can get ugly fast. But this is the BKN Game Recap on a very disappointing night. Nets lose back-to-back games. Last night against the Sixers, 137-133. And now tonight, 130-122. They give up 130 points again. So like the video if you guys like the video, hit the like button. Sub up to NYG Jeffy T. More news on the Brooklyn Nets. Game recaps as well. Turn on the bell for notifications on the next video or short dropping on the channel for the Nets. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this, because this is not good. The defense has been pathetic lately, and it's got to get better. I'm very, very disappointed in the Nets tonight. Hopefully they could turn it around on Saturday against the New York Knicks. And this team right now is showing they need to make a trade. And they need to improve the defensive side of this team and improve the front court. But they're too shooter, they're too inconsistent, and they're too guard heavy. But let me know in the comments section what you guys think. Thank you very much. Enjoy your Thursday night. Take it easy, and let's go Brooklyn Nets. As always, it's a Nets world, and we're all just living in it.